Okay, I'm going to make another video. It's about 7:20 or so in the evening. I'm sitting out here on my front porch waiting for this train to go by. I tried to time all this video so that it wouldn't be interrupted by a train, and there's the end of it. And there he goes down the tracks, and maybe I'll get through this without another train coming by. If not, sorry about that. I'm sitting here in my front porch swing, and Doofus is down there on the bottom of the handicap ramp, and Leo is around here someplace. Oh, there he is. There comes Leo. Probably going to go down there and talk to Doofus about politics or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to get up from this swing and actually turn around and show you a picture of my swing, just because I have a swing and I don't want you to think I'm lying about it. There's a swing right there. I guess it's not really a swing, it's more of a glider, but I really don't glide. I just sit there and watch the flowers grow and watch the traffic and go by and watch the world go by. And I like it here. This is my favorite spot in my whole place. Little old country, nothing. I'm going to start out here. Here's my foot. See my foot? There's some steps going down right there. And I'm not going to go down the steps yet, but I want to go over here to the porch rail. And there's a hammer that I used a couple times now to pound some stakes in amongst my 4 o'clock flowers and some other flowers and plants going around here, because they got so tall and big that they're tipping over. So I had to drive some stakes in and tie them off, or do whatever I had to do to keep them upright for the most part. Next to that is a little, I guess you call it a bird house. I've never had a bird in it, but sometimes I see a wasp or two flying out of there, but it's screwed down in there, and I'm not going to mess with it. I'll just leave it be. There's that hose I told you about before that's been hanging there for 10 years. Never use it because it doesn't work. And I'm going to back up here just a minute, and I'm going to go over here. There's a little rock that the kids got or something, I don't know, but there's a plant right there in the corner. Don't know what it is, but I do know that it's started out, it wasn't even at the top of the pot when we planted it, and now it's overgrown and spreading itself out pretty well. It looks like it's pretty healthy. It's growing. Right next to that, I'm going to turn the corner on the deck rail. Right there's the corner, see? And there's a little pitcher that just landed here, I guess, a few weeks ago, and I don't know why. We don't do anything with it. It just sits there for decoration, I guess. But inside the little bowl under the pitcher, you'll see a couple of tomatoes, and those are the first 2 tomatoes we picked. Actually, I guess it's number 2 and 3, because the wife tried to eat the first one, and it was good, but they're small tomatoes, and I don't know if it's because that's the variety of tomato, or first ones of the year, or what. I hope I get some bigger ones, but if I don't care. And right next to that is a little black flower pot looking thing that's got some green leafy fern looking stuff in there, and they're not real sharp or anything. They're just kind of rubbery. I'll move along my deck rail here real quick. There's that little rock that's I call it the Fred Flintstone bowling ball, because it's not round and it's got all kinds of holes in it. I guess one size fits all. And then over here to the left of that is these 3 little containers. Each one has a seed pod, or a seed, whatever you call it. Now I think those are avocados. The wife decides maybe she wants to grow some avocados, and so you put them in water with them toothpicks holding it up so it doesn't drown, I guess. But there's some roots coming out the bottom, and I guess when the roots come out, you can plant them in the dirt, or in a pot, or in the ground, or wherever you want to plant them. There's another train coming here. Be here in a minute. I can hear it coming. I'm going to go back over here to the same direction, and and go down just for a minute. There's that little owl I showed you before. We've had a beast or a critter of some sort showed up here lately. I've talked about it on Facebook and on my storyteller site a couple of times, and this little owl was actually knocked over by something that had to be pretty powerful. That damn train's coming, because that thing weighs like 13 pounds, I would guess. But anyway, it was knocked over on its side early one morning after we had heard a bunch of stuff going on out here the night before. Anyway, the porch is kind of a mess right now. There comes Leo again, hanging around my feet. There's Doofus. They're having a little talk. Get out of that cat. Get out of there, Doofus. That's the kitty food. Get out of there. Porch is kind of a mess. We got stuff going on. We've emptied bags of dirt and stuff, so it's kind of a mess here, but that's okay. And here's a little pet carrier. I'm going to sit down my swing here a minute. Here's a little pet carrier we got when the stepdaughter had brought me a cat of some kind, ended up dying or sick or something. Get out of there, Doofus. Get out of that food. Go on. Get out of there. That's kitty food. Sorry. Gotta play daddy here once in a while. That's an old bird cage right there sitting on the top of it, and I don't know why we even still got it. It's been repaired several times. It's pretty cool looking, but we need to find a real useful purpose for it, I guess. Alright, I'm going to move on. There's that cat food bowl that I've talked about before. Man, look at this old train coming. I got to get a picture of this because that's an old engine right there. Watch this. Look at the car going by. But that's an old Norfolk Southern Railroad engine with a Union Pacific pushing it, and just a whole bunch of train cars and stuff. But I'll get back to what I was talking about. I'm going to get up now. I told you all, well, let me show you this first. It says 82 degrees right here on my front porch, but I don't think it's that warm. I think I've got a defective thermometer, so I don't know, maybe I can sue somebody or something. Anyway, it says 82 degrees. It feels like about 75. Maybe it's only 81 degrees, but still. Anyway, told you I was into tricycles. You can see this little three-wheeler. It looks like a little tractor, maybe a Oliver or something, old Oliver, but behind that is a little small tricycle. It's got a little planter in the back, and it's got a little plant growing out of it. And I don't know if you can see, but there's a little spider I just noticed. You see that spider crawling around right there? Ooh, he's got a little white spot on his butt. I don't know what the kind of spider that is. Probably nothing. Here's another little tricycle I got from an old woman I'd been taking care of. And it's got a little planter deal in the back of it. Doesn't have nothing growing. And right behind the handlebars is a place for another little plant, but we don't have a pot to put it in, there, so it's just going to sit there, I guess. But it's a tricycle, and I like them. And I'm going to cruise over here a little bit more. I'm really having to bend way down. It's killing my back, but there's a little Angel. And here's a little, there's a little watering thing I got at the dollar store. It leaks like a sieve. It ain't no good for nothing. But this little Angel here, maybe I showed it to you before, maybe I didn't, I don't know. But its right hand has been chopped off, and she's got a look on her face that's, I don't know, it's like, what am I supposed to do now? Kind of a look. Because she's missing one hand, but anyway, she's still here. There's another little tricycle, got a couple of rocks in it that the kids came up with from somewhere. Alright, I'm going to stand back up. That feels better. And we got these, I don't know if I showed you this little deal here, but there's another tricycle and another tricycle. I forgot about it. It doesn't have anything in it, but there's a rock in there. It says love. And another one in front of it says happiness. Happiness is, the happiness rock is actually upside down. I think that kind of makes sense in a way, but next to all that stuff is this coleus, and it's there's 3 of them right here in a row. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 coleuses, and they're really drooping here in the last day, and I think it's because we've gotten too much rain. And in fact, this one here in the middle, you can see all the water in the little dish under it. Maybe, I don't know, but I think they've gotten too much water. Before that, just yesterday even, and certainly the days before that, they were all looking real healthy. And I'm hoping they'll come back, and they probably will. Moving on just a little further is some kind of a little plant with some little mossy stuff growing out of it, and it looks pretty healthy. I think it's okay. Above that is that little hummingbird feeder I made out of a Folgers coffee can. I don't know if you all remember that or not. Little plastic deal that coffee comes in. And right next to that is that bird feeder that has never worked, but it's pretty cool looking, kind of a hard glass looking thing with a bee or something on it, I don't know. And next to that is Uncle Sam. He's still hanging there, a little welcome deal. Got a hillbilly, stupid looking something. Anyway, and there's another coleus. And see, it's not really drooping like the others were. There's that one, and then there's a kind of droopy kind. So I don't know what the deal is with that. And there's that little cactus that we call Harry. It's got a lot of fuzz on it, a lot of fur, and it's rubbery. I thought cactus would always poke you, but this doesn't poke you. It's just I don't know, they call it a cactus. I assume it is. And down here below is that little red looking affair, and it's still looking pretty healthy. It's got a few holes in the leaves, if you'll see. I don't know if you can see very well, but the grasshoppers, I think, have been chewing holes in it or something, but that's okay. It all looks pretty good. Now I'm going to move on down here. Here's a little, right next to that cactus is a little key that I have hanging here on a post, just for decoration. Another hillbilly thing, I guess. And there's a little birdhouse that doesn't never have a bird in it. I think it's just too close to the front door. It scares them away. I'm going to go back up here for just a second and just show you. Here's a little welcome deal, and there's another tricycle I have hanging on my wall. I don't think I showed you that before. And right below it is a little knight in shining armor, but he's not really all that shining, and he's only about 2 feet tall, so he can't do too much damage, I wouldn't think. There's Doofus. What's up, Doofus? Hey, what's up, Doofus? Yeah. Say hi to all them Facebook people. Anyway, I'm going to cruise on down the ramp here a little bit. And of course, there's Leo laying there again. There's my feet. Here's my feet going down the ramp. And there's Leo laying there. And I'm going to give him a little kick and see if he'll move. What up, Leo? Yeah, what's up? Here comes Doofus to see what's going on. Anyway, that's pretty much the end of my ramp. I'm down here at the end of my handicap ramp again. Doofus cruising out there by my van. But I'm going to turn around here, show you where I just came from. That's where I just came from. And over here to the left as you're going down the ramp, but I guess on my right now, is some of these 4 o'clocks. And I think you're going to see that it's a little bit early yet in the evening, and they haven't bloomed out real well yet, but they will as the night goes on. This is all along my sidewalk. There you go. There's a little. I hope I'm not going too fast. I noticed in my last video I went way too fast. There's this little flower pot that the kids got for my wife, their Nana, their grandmother, and it's got the little feet with sandals on it, and it's got some kind of flowers in it right now that are looking like they're pretty puny, but I don't know what kind of flowers these are, but they look a lot better during the daytime, I guess is what I'm trying to say. They're more full, and it looks like right now they've almost closed up like 4 o'clock's due in the daytime. There's another little planter next to it. These are sitting in a little buggy. I don't know if you can see because the 4 o'clocks are kind of covering it up, but there's kind of a little cart. Pretty cool old wrought iron looking cart with all the curlicues and all that stuff. And there's a sun. There's that sun I have on my wall. I think I showed you that before. Some people, you buy them at a flea market for 15 bucks if you're lucky. And man, my trash is stinking. I don't know, there's my trash cans right there. And out here next to me in the pasture, there's a horse over there. I don't know how well you can see it, but when the wife was out here a while ago, all she got to do is show up and give them a little whistle or a little holler, and they'll come running because they know that she's got some kind of a treat for them. Leo's cruising along over there by the fence. A couple of little donkeys over there next door. There's 3 of them all together. I don't know how well you can see them. There's a little grasshopper on my van. Look at this little grasshopper. I'm going to get here until he jumps away. He ain't doing nothing. I'll scoot him in the butt here for you. Oop, there he goes. Alright. Alright. Little quick slide over here. There's the 4 o'clocks. They're just now starting to bloom for the night. Just now starting to come open. I tried to make a video last night, but it was so late that everything turned out dark. But anyway, I'm going to slow real down here. I'm standing next to my van now. I'll back up, and there's a bunch of tomato plants. Tomato plant. These plants have some green tomatoes on them. There's actually quite a few of them. There's more than I thought. On this one here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about a dozen or so on that plant. And maybe the same, well, a little bit less on this plant. But anyway, these are my tomato plants. There's a little rail landscape timber that we planted everything along. I'm just going to keep on backing up. Here are my feet. I know you like to see my feet, but that'll kind of give you an idea of sort of where I am in my yard. Here's another little tomato plant. It's the last one in the row, but it's got one that's turning red. I'll spin around here real quick. See that one? It's starting to turn red a little bit. So maybe in a day or two it'll be okay. Back to these 4 o'clocks. I got to get back to them because all those 4 o'clocks over there produce some seeds, and my wife has taken seeds from this year and planted them in the ground, and they're coming up. So we've actually got 2 times our value out of these seeds that we bought at the store or somewhere. I think at Walmart gardening center or something. But anyway, that's a little transplant. I mean, not a transplant, but it's grown from seed. There's another one. Here's another one that I think has grown from seed, or it may be a transplant. I'm not sure. Moving back, there's another one. There's another one. All these were planted from seed. Until you get to this one, it was a little transplant, and it's doing really good. I wish it was more open right now, but it's not. Anyway, it is what it is, and it'll get better and grow faster and further before the season's over. And there's another 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock. There's some more. There's some more. Now I'm at the very end of my railroad ties. And I think I showed you all this before. This is a 4 o'clock that she transplanted. and it's doing real good. It's probably more vibrant than any of them, and it also has a combination of colors. If you can see, I don't know how well you can see with this high-dollar camera I've got. It's 10 years old and 5 megapixel, but anyway, there's some vibrant reds. There's a white one on there. There's a yellow one coming on there, and there's some maroon-looking flowers all on the same plant. And I didn't realize they could do that, but I guess they can. And right next to that is a couple of little coleuses, and they're both real healthy. And here's a little rose bush over here to my left. The doofus snooping around there. I knew he would. He's a kind of a ham. Here's a rose bush. It looks really good in about April or May, June maybe. Probably middle of May. It gets a beautiful whole bunch of bright red roses on it, and they last about a month. And wham, they die overnight and they're gone. And it's kind of a ridiculous plant. Probably the worst looking one right now that I've got in my yard. And I just soon mow it down and look at it anymore. Anyway, I'm going to cruise back up here. The sun's in my eyes. But there's that little coleus and, excuse me, and 4 o'clock there at the end of the row here. And I'm going to cruise on and cruise on and cruise on. Here's a couple of little 4 o'clocks she planted at the end of this bird condominium that I have. That's the bottom of it, and come down the pole, hit the ground, and she planted a couple of them there just so I've got something else to weed eat around. I think she kind of likes for me to work more. They're a pain in the ass to weed around, but I haven't killed them yet. Summer's not over. I'm going to stand right here and just take a little view shot here of what we just been looking at, but this is from a different angle. There's that tomato plant again that has one tomato that's getting ready to turn red. Here's the rest of them. From this side of the driveway, there's a van over there again. Here's that little rabbit. There he is. There's that little rabbit. He's kind of watching over things, I guess. He don't eat too much, it doesn't seem like. We should eat some of the weeds and grasses out of there, but he won't. But anyway, these 4 o'clocks are, man, they're just a lot bigger than they were, I think, a month ago or so when I made my last video. And that, I guess, is really the reason I'm making this video, is to show you what can happen in just a month's time with these things. Man, they grow quick and they're easy and they don't cause any disease, and they're not hard to tend. There's a couple of little purple things down there, and I think they're volunteers. I don't know what they are, where they came from. I think maybe the wife scattered some wildflower seeds out here at one time, and now they're finally coming up. But anyway, I'm going to get back over here and show you the little frog back there. It says welcome. Got a little glittery stomach with a butterfly on it. And back up here a little bit, and there's just some more stuff. There's a little dog, another little welcome thing. But there's a little dog right there, welcome. And here's that little pig my wife got at the yard sale or somewhere. I think I told you about it before. It was just a plain, white, I guess, yard lawn ornament, and she got her paintbrushes and stuff out and parked it up there by the front door for a while, but it got to complaining to Doofus that it didn't get enough sunshine and it needed a job, so we put it out here in the middle of this mess. It's got a tool in each hand, and it's protecting the garden. So he's almost got a grin on his face. But anyway, he seems to be happy here. Over here is a little cactus plant that I think has really gotten just too much water. And it's looking bad. Something's happening. It's turning brown and nasty, and I don't know, maybe dying. Maybe it'll come back. I don't know. I hope it does. If it don't, so what? But this is a little wildflower batch right here. This is the little wildflowers that she planted this spring, and I don't know if they'll come back next year or not. I don't remember if it's an annual or a perennial. perennial or bicentennial or what it is. Anyway, there's another. That's another tomato that's getting ready to turn red. That's probably my best plant, but I think we've gotten all 3 of our previous tomatoes from this particular plant. And like I say, there's another one, and there's another one behind it, but I don't think you can see it from here. Oh, here's something I forgot to tell you about last time. I've got this bird feeder. It's really pretty simple, and I like it. Birds love it. It's basically a 1-inch dowel rod, they call it, wooden dowel rod. You can buy it at the lumber yard. And I got one of these. It's 8 feet long. Drove it about a foot in the ground, I guess, thereabouts. And I took a 5/8 bit and drilled a bunch of holes in it, a series of holes on each side, and put a little perch right below each hole. There's a perch. There's a perch. Anyway, above and below each perch is a hole. The birds can sit there and they eat, no difference. And they eat this bird feed that I make. It's equal parts of cornmeal, flour, lard, and peanut butter. And I guess peanut butter is probably the main attraction, but you may just mix it all up in a big old bowl. And generally it needs a little more flour to make it thick, make it like dough bait, like, I don't know, something like Jack Beggs would use to go catfishing or something. Just make a dough ball out of it. And you cram it in those holes, and I can fill it up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and by 4 o'clock, 4:30, it is bone dry empty. These birds will absolutely attack this thing, and they're pretty fascinating to watch. When you pack it in there, don't worry about spilling any, because the birds will find it, or a grasshopper will find it, or the ant will get it, or something. But that's a real cool project for a little kid, you know, 10, 12, 13, 14 years old, whatever. Let them make it themselves. It's real easy to do. It's cheap. It's fun. If you like to watch the birds. If you don't like to watch the birds, then just disregard this portion of the video, I guess. But I like to watch the birds, and that's just a real easy and simple thing to do. Anyway, then I'm going to cruise over here just a little bit. I'll get one more little shot of the corner. There's a horse came up over there behind my van. You see that? And okay, I'm going to zoom over here real quick. I know this is going real fast, but there's the other 2 horses. A little black and white horse in a palomino. They're all real friendly. The wife feeds them daily, whether it's a couple of apples or a bag of carrots. Carrots are pretty cheap right now. You can get about a dozen of them for $1, about $1. Here in North Texas, anyway. He's looking at me, shaking his head. Anyway, here comes Doofus down the ramp. This is really starting to get boring. I know it is, and I'm going to hurry over here. This is that little thing in the middle of my yard with just one plant on it. It holds 4, but I wish you had 4 on there, 'cause it does look pretty cool. These are some more of them same kind of plants we looked at a while ago. But this one here has grown about 2 or 3 times what it was last time I made it, since last time I made the video. And then I'm going to turn around here and look up the pole. There's my little bird condominium. Like I said before, it's got about a dozen holes in it, and they're all full. They have to fly from there down over to my bird bath. Bird bath's got a bunch of bugs in it of some sort. Some of them are swimming, some of them are not, but it's got water in it. So they've got to fly probably about 25 feet, 30 feet maybe, from there over here to the bird bath. And I guess that's about it. There goes Leo jumping up into a tree. And there's a train coming besides. I'm going to try and end this with a train coming, just because there's the old doofus. There's the old doofus. Look at him. What's that doofus dog doing? Yeah, what's that doofus dog doing? Yeah, there he is. Yeah, people want to see what doofus looks like. There he is. Yeah, he's a good dog of mine. Anyway, cruising over here a little closer to the porch. There's another 4 o'clock. Hadn't seen before. It's not open yet. I don't know why. It'll open before the night's over. And here's a little deal that the wife stuck in the ground after I made my last video, I believe. Little trellis looking thing. And she was hoping that some of these plants that she had grown over here would glom onto it and start to crawl up it. And sure enough, they did. There's a couple flowers down there at the base of it. And there's a little angel that I guess I dropped her on her head a couple years ago on the concrete and knocked the top of her head off. And she's full of dirt and sand or whatever that is. But she's lost her head. Lost the top of her head. That's okay. I've been there too. There's a few more little deals that are growing in a really shady area. Anyway, that's pretty much the end of my little yard here. Here comes a train. I'll see if I can get this guy to wave at me. Maybe you'll be able to see him and maybe you won't. Yeah, he waved at me, but I know it's a long ways away. So I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is what I look at every day sitting from my front porch. It's got a beautiful sky tonight. The sun's just now thinking about maybe going down. I'm looking to the east. The sun is setting on the other side of the house over here to the west. There's that bird condo again. I can't think of anything else I really wanted to show you. Made this video, I guess, for a couple of reasons. One is to show you the difference in the growth and all this stuff I've got that just kind of landed here this year. And the other reason I made this is just maybe my grandkids will look at it in 10 years or 20 years or whenever I'm dead and gone, and they'll say, yeah, that's Papa's voice. Yeah, I've got one of those unique voices, everybody tells me. There's just some more of the same old stuff. So I hope everybody enjoyed it. I tried to go as slow as I could before it got dark. The damn train behind me is kind of throwing me off, but there's Doofus up there on the porch wanting to go in. Stella's probably inside. I can't let her outside because she'll run across the pasture. It takes me an hour to get her back. I'm going to zoom over here real quick, and I know this is real fuzzy and real blurry and real quick, but I got to show you one more shot of Leo. There, Leo. There, Leo. Yeah, there, Leo. Here comes Doofus. He's jealous. Anyway, Doofus says, adios.